I don't think we realize what the Dallas Cowboys just did. So we're going to be going through that and 3 other stories in today's video. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Dallas Cowboys news content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel by hitting that red button down below. The first story is Cowboys' $39 million veteran deemed potential trade casualty. The Dallas Cowboys could shed salary cap space by unloading this productive veteran. In a list of creative ways to create more salary cap space, Bleacher Report mentions the idea of either trading or cutting veteran wide receiver Brandon Cooks as one of 3 ways to do so. Cooks is about to enter the final year of his 2-year, $39 million contract. The Cowboys can save $8 million by releasing Cooks after June 1st. If the Cowboys must generate cap space to get extensions done, releasing wideout Brandon Cooks is an option, writes Bleacher Report. He was a serviceable number 2 receiver last season, but releasing him after June 1st would save $8 million in cap space. Cowboys lacking depth beyond Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb. If the Cowboys had decent depth at wide receiver, the idea of unloading Cooks actually isn't a bad one. However, Dallas also released former starting receiver Michael Gallup during the offseason, which means they only have 2 established veteran receivers on the roster in Cooks and CeeDee Lamb. Bleacher Report mentions how the Cowboys' receiving options after Cooks and Lamb aren't exactly impressive with KaVontae Turpin, Ryan Flournoy, and Jalen Brooks. Turpin has mainly served as a return specialist. Brooks caught just 6 balls during his rookie season, and Flournoy is a rookie. However, there are veteran free agent receiving options, including former Pro Bowlers such as Michael Thomas and Hunter Renfrow. The internal options for replacing Cooks, which include KaVontae Turpin, Jalen Brooks, and rookie Ryan Flournoy, aren't great. However, receivers like Hunter Renfrow, Michael Thomas, Randall Cobb, and Richie James are available. Cowboys need to create salary cap space for Dak Prescott contract. The main reason behind the Cowboys potentially creating cap space is for the new contract of quarterback Dak Prescott. Prescott is on the verge of entering the final year of his contract and will likely command a new contract north of $50 million per year. For perspective, the Detroit Lions just signed franchise quarterback Jared Goff to a 4-year, $212 million deal. Prescott's market value is $50.9 million per year across 4 seasons for a total of $203.5 million. While the Cowboys remain adamant that they want to get a new deal done to secure Prescott in Dallas, the longer they wait, the more they'll likely have to pay. It's clear Dallas has been frugal when it comes to spending in free agency, with their only notable signings being linebacker Eric Kendricks and cheaper veteran options such as running backs Ezekiel Elliott and Royce Freeman. The Prescott deal is obviously the biggest priority for the Cowboys entering training camp. However, Dallas is also soon due to sign stars such as Lamb and linebacker Micah Parsons to new contracts. While it's true the Cowboys need to start worrying about re-signing their 3 biggest stars to new contracts, there are always ways to manipulate the salary cap without releasing a key veteran in order to create more space. Furthermore, the idea of releasing Cooks, who is coming off of a productive season with 54 catches for 657 yards and 8 touchdowns when the Cowboys are already lacking reliable options in the receiving games, is just silly. Expect the Cowboys to keep Cooks around entering the 2024 season, considering their lack of depth at the wide receiver position. The Dallas Cowboys have opted for familiarity this offseason, but one of their new additions to the 2024 squad is being singled out. In a stretch where Dallas didn't make many changes, the return of running back Ezekiel Elliott is already drawing warnings. In a May 21st article from Bleacher Report's Alex Kay, he names Elliott as the NFL's most overrated RB. The Cowboys re-signed former starter Ezekiel Elliott to a 1-year deal shortly after the draft concluded. That decision could come back to haunt the Cowboys as they try to reach an NFC championship game for the first time in nearly 3 decades. Their backfield sorely disappointed in each of their last 3 playoff exits, 2 of which featured Elliott prominently, Kay wrote. K's argument is mostly rooted in the fact that Elliott's production has dwindled in the past few years. It's a fair point, but the term overrated feels off to describe Elliott's situation. After all, he's playing on a $2 million one-year contract according to SpotRack. It's hard to see how he's overrated or overvalued when he's playing on close to the league minimum. The second story is Dallas Cowboys' scariest pitfall to overcome on 2024 NFL schedule. The Dallas Cowboys have gotten a look at their 2024 NFL schedule, so they know what they are up against in their quest to make their fourth straight playoff appearance. The Cowboys are entering next season with some pretty strange expectations. One might even say they are flying under the radar, as there are some who are projecting Dallas to miss the playoffs entirely as a result of the club's inactive offseason. Not only did the Cowboys not really sign anyone of significance, but they also lost numerous key pieces, such as offensive tackle Tyron Smith, center Tyler Biadasz, and edge rusher Dorrance Armstrong. Junior still, owner Jerry Jones is insisting the team is all in heading into 2024. And in fairness, Dallas still boasts one of the more talented rosters in the NFC. In order to make it back to the postseason and potentially make a legitimately deep playoff run for the first time in nearly 3 decades, however, the Cowboys are going to have to get through a very tough part of their schedule, which we will discuss right now. Let's be honest, Dallas's entire schedule is tough. But sometimes you can get off to a great start by beating up on cupcakes before getting into the meat of your schedule in the middle of the season. That won't be the case for the Cowboys. Dallas's first 6 games will come against the Browns, Saints, Ravens, Giants, Steelers, and Lions before the club gets its Week 7 bye. 3 of those games are on the road, including the season opener at Cleveland and Week 5 in Pittsburgh. The Cowboys will also play New York away from home during that stretch. Talk about a rough stretch. They get the league's #1 ranked defense from 2023 in Week 1, play the team with the best record in football last year in Week 3, and also have the NFC runner-up against Detroit in Week 6. New Orleans finished a respectable 9-8 this past season, the Steelers made the playoffs, and the Giants should be much improved. The Cowboys absolutely have to manage to stay afloat before the bye, as their schedule does not get any easier afterward. As a matter of fact, they are at San Francisco right out of the bye week and are then at Atlanta the following Sunday. Luckily, Dallas then has a stretch where 4 of its next 5 games are at home, including meetings with the Eagles, Texans, and Bengals. Not that that is an easy run by any stretch of the imagination, but at least the Cowboys will be playing some good teams in their own building. If Dallas is able to get through those first 6 weeks at 4-2, it will be in great shape the rest of the way. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Cowboys will cruise to a playoff berth, but it will absolutely make things more manageable. It's also important to note that Philadelphia will be playing a very similar schedule, as the NFC East will be playing the AFC North and NFC South this season. The third story is new NFL prospect emerges as potential replacement for Dak Prescott in Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys could soon face a significant shift in their quarterback position, with franchise quarterback Dak Prescott's future increasingly uncertain. As Prescott enters the final year of his 4-year deal, signed in March 2021, the Cowboys have yet to secure an extension, leading to speculation about potential replacements. Prescott, who will be entering his 9th year in the league, had an impressive 2020 season, finishing 2nd in the NFL MVP race and leading the league with 36 touchdown passes. However, his continued struggles in the postseason, most recently a blowout loss to the Green Bay Packers in the wild card round, have left many Cowboys fans questioning his long-term role with the team. Despite the impressive regular season performance, the lack of playoff success has prompted the Cowboys front office to consider their options. If Prescott does not reach a new deal with Dallas by the end of the 2024 season, he will likely enter free agency, where he is expected to become one of the highest-paid players in NFL history. In anticipation of this potential scenario, the Cowboys have begun exploring contingency plans. One intriguing possibility comes from the recent 2024 NFL Draft, where Donovan Smith from the University of Houston emerged as a notable candidate. Smith, who started his college career at Texas Tech before transferring to Houston, stands 6'5" and weighs 240 pounds, boasting a strong arm and impressive mobility. His performance last season, throwing for 2,801 yards and 22 touchdowns, has already caught the attention of NFL analysts. Chris Trapasso of CBS Sports has highlighted Smith in his early 2025 mock draft, predicting the Cowboys might select him as Prescott's successor. The speculation aligns with the broader context of the NFL's quarterback market, where recent deals, such as Jared Goff's 4-year, $212 million extension with the Detroit Lions, have set new financial benchmarks. The Cowboys' hesitation to extend Prescott's contract reflects a cautious approach,